We are live. We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Views and Views Divisional Playoffs Edition. You got the usual suspects. We work in the triangle offense today. The OG crew, myself, Vic Jr., Germ So True. Fellas, it's been a while since it's just been the three-headed monsters. And I'm going to say, if there was ever a day for just the three of us, today might be the day. You got Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, and then you got Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. The irony of that is you could almost say Mahomes is Brady, Baker is Drew. Young versus young versus young, old versus old. It's going to be one memorable football Sunday, we do hope, by some of the best players that we can see in this game, including the GOAT. Speaking of GOATs, happy birthday, rest in peace to the GOAT of GOATs, man that I share a first name with. So just wanted to do that little shout out real quick to the great Muhammad Ali. May he continue to rest in peace. But let's just dive into these games. Some quick news. Josh McDaniels is being interviewed today by the Philadelphia Eagles for their head coaching position. And then tomorrow they are interviewing Brandon Staley, the defensive coordinator for the Rams. So we'll see what happens out of that. Today, we are going to start with the Cleveland fellas. It's January 17th and the Cleveland Browns have a football game. Who would have thought?
Wait,
Browns
recap.
Was that? Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't want to
I'm sorry. Yeah. I completely forgot. You know what? I don't know how much I want to recap, Vic. I don't want to. I mean, I don't know. Yesterday was no. Let's just recap. Let's just recap. We got it. We got to stick to the game plan. You had the Bills versus the Ravens, and then you had the Rams versus the Packers yesterday. Packers obviously won. Germ, let's start with you with the Bills and the Ravens. Lamar Jackson ended up getting hurt in that game. The Bills won that game 17-3. But even before he did get hurt, that game was spiraling out of control. Just give me your thoughts on what you saw about some things that impressed you with the Bills, or maybe some things that didn't quite surprise you, or maybe somebody who might have been put on the Summer Jam scream in the middle of the winter. Go ahead, True.
This is just it's deja vu all over again. Really every time, look, you get called a hater all season for things to end the way you said that they were going to end. I just feel like it's inevitable. I am inevitable. Eventually, at some point, you're going to have to come see me. So I just want y'all to know, man, I say it every year. I say the same thing about Lamar Jackson every season. The athleticism is unquestioned. However, as a quarterback, there is a lot to be there's a lot left to be desired. Mm-hmm. Terrible ball velocity, which shows in a lot of these throws. Every time he makes a throw, is he can't throw, right? And then it's like, well, wait, hold on, slow down. He made a throw he should have made. He's a professional quarterback. We can't, every time he makes a throw, are we going to say, oh, my God, he just made a throw? No. That right there in itself is being an apologist. Mm-hmm. Why are we defending him this hard? Then when he throws an interception, it's like, no, he didn't mean to do that. He's still a young quarterback. No, he meant to do that. This is really who he is. But again, you score 3 points. This is what happens when you show up to the game and your kicker is your best offensive weapon.
Damn.
Go ahead. He couldn't get those kicks through.
Listen, in the NFL in the playoffs, there's two things that are for certain. You need to be in good health and you need things to go your way. Those are the two things. Here's the third thing. Weather plays a factor. If we account weather into this, there will be more teams that will have to score 7, and there will be no kicking of threes.
Uh-oh.
So if the wind or the snow becomes a factor, can you score 7? You see my name today. I want to argue. I want somebody to argue with me today. Justin Tucker is a great player at his position. When the wind is spiraling and circling and the wagons is going in Buffalo, that doesn't favor Justin Tucker.
Right.
Therefore, the Ravens offense has took away one of its biggest assets. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Vic.
Well, just before you jump in there, Vic, I think the one thing that we have to recognize is when you see a team go down 14 and you already feel like the deficit is too big, that's a problem. And the one thing that I noticed watching this game yesterday, Vic, really where it kind of like settled in for me that, okay, Baltimore was going to lose this game. It was early in the game, believe it or not. And it was a 3rd and 5, I believe. And they ran a QB sprint. And I'm just like, man, this offense is so limited. I mean, drastically limited. And what we're trying to relay to the general population is that limitation comes from the quarterback. Your thoughts, Vic?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to say about this game. I don't even know exactly where to start, but I'll try to start. I mean, first things first, shout out to you and April for saying Hollywood Brown was going to kind of be a factor in this game, because at a certain, several spots in that game, he got some targets, and he was wide open when those targets got there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he looked like he came to play. Of course, we'll see what the film says. That's one. Two, kind of like what I thought would happen with the Bills defense. It seemed like the Ravens were able to get some chunk yards between the 20s, and then they did their job in the red zone. They got a turnover in the red zone. They were able to hold the Ravens running game to shorter, rush attempts. Kind of like the same thing that I kind of expected. I just didn't expect them to just give up 3 points. We saw them miss field goals. The wind was not only spiraling in terms of when Lamar tried to throw deep, but even for Josh Allen, who Josh didn't have a great game himself. But it was enough to obviously win this game. Mm-hmm. And then, Lamar, it's a lot of these throws, the ball is wobbling. His platform looks uncomfortable. Like Jeremy alluded to, the velocity is just not, it's not NFL level, and what I felt bad for the Ravens was, first and foremost, I didn't even know RG3 and Trace McSorley was hurt.
Yeah,
that's my fault for not being aware of that situation. Because when I see that kid come in and I saw him take off on his first drop back, I was like, oh, okay, RG3 is here to play. And next thing I know, they say another name, and Jeremy reminds me that's the quarterback from Utah we had scouted that went undrafted, so it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they had to get to that position in the game, but it's going to be interesting now, Jeremy. This massive contract that they said the Ravens are willing to talk to Lamar. Is it, one, going to be massive, and number two, is there even going to be a discussion? It's going to be an interesting offseason for the Ravens. Let's just say that.
And I just want to say this as well. And I'm sorry to be the guy to bring this up. We seen Hundley come in one quarter and throw for almost half of what Lamar threw for the entire game. That's a problem.
Well, and then you talked about that Marquise Brown, the throw in the fourth quarter by Huntley. Had he just ran through it, he'd have still been running, as Jerm says, and it'd have made it a 1 touchdown game. So.
Again, let's, like I said, shout out to you and April for mentioning his name in yesterday's show. But that route, it was an out and up. He did everything he had to do on that assignment, that specific route, to get open, and the kid just overthrew him. So I don't think that was on Marquise at all. He did it. It looked like he came to play yesterday. It looked like he came to play for that offense yesterday, for sure.
We'll show that play, and I'll show you what we highlighted on the last night watching this game. So we'll get to that. I think
real
for the
quick,
Bills, yeah, go ahead.
Real quick too. Big Shot said, the Ravens offensive line committed every pre-snap penalty possible, 5 bad snaps, 2 over the head. Here's the problem. You notice every time that Lamar and the team lose, it's always the team around him failed and everything else. And I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Big Shot, but I'm just saying in general. It's always that everybody around him is the reason why they lost. It's never his deficiencies. So as bad as the offensive line played, when the offensive line doesn't play up to par, they lose. That tells you more about the situation than we want to give credit to, or that we can't keep eluding that part of it. When the offensive line doesn't play up to par, Lamar doesn't play up to par. That sounds like a running back more than it sounds like a quarterback.
I mean, is that a situation were they giving up a lot of pressure, or the snaps were off?
It's not about the pressure, Vic, because the pressure part. The Bills are one of those 6 teams in the NFL. They're going to get pressure. It just is what it is. It doesn't matter how good your offensive line is. I believe the Buffalo Bills can get pressure against anybody. That's just being honest. But you take those things into account. I think the biggest thing that we have to say is that we're talking about mistakes, mishaps, things that happen in any given Sunday. I mean, we've seen Ryan Jensen snap the ball at Brady's feet, and Brady have to pick the ball up and still get into the 3-step drop. But that's the GOAT move. That's the GOAT. That's different. We don't when the boat wavers, we don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? The GOAT just picks it up, gets it to hit, get the Brady bounce, and then we get rid of the football. Lamar is not that type of player. Some of it is who he is. Some of it is where he's come from. Some of it is how he's trained, how he's been trained. And some of it, ultimately, it comes down to the end of the day. It just, he relies more on the offensive line, on the guys in front of him. The big horses for Lamar mean more than they mean to a lot of teams. It is okay to say that. They win as a team and they have to lose as a team. Yeah. When Lamar doesn't play well, we just have to say he didn't play well. I'm not going to go any further than that.
Right. I mean, that's about as fair as you can provide it, I would say. But just to move on from it and talk about the Bills real quick, shout out to them. They're back in the AFC Championship, first time in like 25 years or something like that. Whoever they play next week is going to provide a pretty interesting matchup, but they are going to be a tough matchup for whoever advances today. On the NFC side, you had Green Bay versus the Rams. The Packers won that game 32-18. The big story to me from that game, fellas, Aaron Donald clearly should not have been playing in that game. Just the rib was just so obvious that it was an issue. He didn't have nearly the explosive. I mean, nearly. He looked like he was doing walkthroughs out there. He was still somewhat impactful, but you could see he got frustrated pretty quickly. And then obviously at the very end of that game, you saw the tears coming out of his eye. I'll tell you what, man, to see a grown man, a man of that stature, just be balling like that on the sidelines shows you just how much it means to him, shows you the level of commitment that he has to his craft. And it certainly is displayed in the excellence that he provides for us on our TV screens Sunday after Sunday. So shout out to Aaron Donald. He probably is the best football player ever. But what happened was, as a result, I have never seen anybody have that type of time versus the Rams. And I just think you saw Aaron Rodgers be comfortable for most of the game. And when he's comfortable, your defense is going to be very uncomfortable. Vic, just give us your quick thoughts on what you saw yesterday in that game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, on the show before, if he doesn't have that same core strength that is needed to get that, to get that power that explosiveness that he displays, it's just not going to be the same player, and we saw that. It also looked like that the Packers had a very good strategy, game plan on how to stop him. There was occasional double teams, there was occasional chips and stuff like that. and that sure looked like not only the injury, but it looked like it frustrated the heck out of him. And I mean, like you said, the time that Rodgers had in the pocket was incredible.
Right.
And then I mean, the Packers game plan, what they've been able to do has been tremendous. They attack you very short. They attack you in a lot of screens, a lot of different ways horizontally, and then they're able to take that deep shot to the point where the receiver is about 4 or 5 steps past the DBs. They looked uncomfortable. The DBs looked uncomfortable all day yesterday. They just did not have the same aggression that they had against the Seahawks moving forward. And I mean, you saw it on that one play to Lazard. It looked like they were faking a screen. It looked like they were faking some sort of short route, and Lazard got past the 2 DBs, and it was like about 4 or 5 steps he had on them, and it was an easy pitch and catch for Rodgers. So the run game, of course, was also tremendous for the Packers. So shout out to them. We thought that the Rams defense was going to be a stiff challenge for them. But like I said, those two players, if it wasn't for if Donald and Jalen did not show up, it was going to be a long night for the Rams.
Sure. Before you go, Jerm, just some breaking news, and maybe we'll touch on it, maybe we won't. But Adam Schefter just tweeted there is a growing sense from people in and around the Texans organization that Deshaun Watson has played his last snap for the team. It's early in the offseason. There's a lot of time left, but Watson's feelings cannot and should not be underestimated. Very interesting developing news. Jerem, your thoughts on the game yesterday?
Let's break it. Let's make football common sense again. When your two best players don't have their best game on defense, this is the result you get. Aaron Donald is the most important player on that defensive front seven. Jalen is the most important player in the back four. It just is that simple. I don't need to really put too much else into that. This is why you need more people to rush the passer, more people to affect the game. And this ultimately is just something where I'm not going to really take too much away from the Packers here. You ran the football at a rate in which we knew you could run the football. And on top of you doing that, Aaron Rodgers played his game. They did what they wanted to do, and that's just what it was.
Right.
Congratulations, Packers. We will see you next week on Sunday, and that just is what it is.
Jerem, just touch on real quick, because you've talked about this quite often. And yesterday, you and I were talking, and we talked about this player's value may be as valuable as anybody else at that position. Talk to us about Cooper Kupp's value to that Rams offense.
Man, I said it the Super Bowl year, right? I said, I don't trust this team without Cooper Kupp. I don't know what it is about Cooper Kupp, but he is equivalent to Kenny Golladay, like we talked about. He's equivalent to those receivers that you just need in your locker room, need between the lines. He just makes a difference, whether it be in the running game with the crackback blocks, whether it be in the passing game, moving chains. He just gives you a whole nother dynamic. He's not going to beat you vertically. He's not the big play receiver. He's the glue to that Rams offense.
Yes.
Literally. That is literally the glue.
Yes.
If you do not have the glue to that offense, ladies, that might be the sticky glue that you put on when you put on your what. He is literally that guy. Without him, things just do not connect. That's the spark plug. If you don't have that going with that running game, it's just not the same, man.
Right.
I don't know any other way to say it, man. I gotta shout him out because every time they seem like they're poised to win and they lose Cooper twice. They look like they're poised to go on that Super Bowl run. They even made it to the Super Bowl once without him. But they will never. It doesn't look like they're going to win a Super Bowl without Cooper, man. Yeah. Shout out to Kupp, man. Get healthy, man. Get better. For Sean, man, we gotta find something else, man, because we can't keep losing Coop at this time of the year, man. We can't keep doing it.
Right. No, absolutely. Vic, did you have anything you want to add?
No, I just the other thing. I think they kind of left away from that running game too. They got some big chunk plays out of Cam Akers, and I think they went away from it too early. But
yeah,
well, this is this classic instance of we have the quarterback that we believe is a franchise quarterback, and we're going to throw the ball more. And we're going to talk about a game today in which it's going to be another team that we're going to be looking at that's going to probably start doing this dumb nonsense. But let me touch one thing on the Deshaun Watson thing, and we can move on. I am going to make sure I make this really clear to everybody. Deshaun Watson, if I am him, I am saying to this organization, I don't want to play here, not because of the losing season, not because of anything else. It's because you have been inept since I have been drafted. You have been less than since I have been drafted. I have not only torn my knee up for this organization, but I've put my body on the line for this organization since I've been here. You come and you pay me, and yeah, and that's fine, but you can't pay people around me. You trade away one of my best players. You trade away certain pieces that are necessary for my team, for my growth, for my development. Then you never get me the defensive pieces that I need. I don't have Lamar Jackson type stuff, meaning an offensive line and some good players and pieces on defense, because I got JJ in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
You have been an ep since day one. Since you have drafted me, you have put me at a disadvantage. We never have draft capital. I can never get young players. And on top of all of those things, in all of these years, I think I got two first round players out of all of this.
Yeah, they could have probably gotten David Johnson for a third or fourth round pick without even getting rid of Hopkins. I think the Cardinals wanted to get rid of DJ for anything. But the fact that they saw that they wanted to get rid of Hopkins was like they just anyway.
It's terrible.
It is, yeah. It is.
And realistically, the last thing I'll say, and we're going to touch on this more in the offseason as it comes up. There's a team in the E, and there's a team that is in the AFC East that says that their franchise and their locker room doesn't believe in a quarterback that was just drafted 5th overall.
Yeah, we can leave that for tomorrow night because
you see how we just throw that up. You see how I throw that up?
That's a cheer. That's the worldwide list.
Hey, I'm gonna let y'all know. I want to argue. Go ahead.
All right, let's jump into these games. Like we talked about, you got the 11-5 Cleveland Browns versus the 14-2 Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites. For the Browns, J.C. Treader is out. That's a big loss. Wyatt Teller questionable. So is David Njoku. For the Chiefs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is doubtful, and Sammy Watkins is out. As far as the Clyde Edwards-Helaire thing, fellas, let's touch on this real quick. Let's dive into the running backs matchup in this one, okay? And I got an ultimate point I want to make with this, but first, with Clyde Edwards-Helaire being out, that means that Le'Veon Bell should be getting volume in this one. And Le'Veon Bell is a workload volume running back because it's like a quarterback. We talk about how certain quarterbacks, certain elite quarterbacks, certain GOAT quarterbacks like to collect data over a time spell of a game. Le'Veon Bell is very similar. Great running backs, in fact, are very similar. You'll notice a lot of times you'll see great running backs, 12 carries, 59 yards or something crazy. And then they'll end the game with like 22 carries and 127 yards. Things like that happen because they're collecting data. The offensive line is figuring out things, and he's starting to see the blocks develop more and more. And obviously fatigue starts to pick up for the defensive line when you have that type of running back who's going to go at you over and over and over and over. Speaking of running backs that's going to go at you over and over and over and over, and feels like a damn boulder rock coming at you, I'm sure, Nick Chubb, who's arguably the best running back in the game today. So, fellas, let's start here because, in my opinion, the running game is the most important factor of this game today. Yes, we got Patrick Mahomes. Yes, we got Baker Mayfield. But the running game, to me, is the most important factor in this game. Vic, let's start with you on this one. Talk to me about these running backs, however you want to go at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think with the Helaire situation, I think as the season went along, I think the Chiefs made it pretty clear that they don't see him as a kid that they want to give him, the 25 to 30 touches a game. It was evident that he was, to them, he's probably a 15 to 20 touch guy. And so mixing that more powerful running back that can handle that workload. And I think another thing was the blocking situation. So when you bring in Le'Veon Bell, you bring in somebody that can carry a load, can block for the quarterback if necessary. So I mean, now you just got a situation where they just leave it at Le'Veon Bell for most of the game. And then when it comes to the Browns, I think between Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, it's 35 carries minimum. 35 carries minimum. I don't care. I mean, if the score is 14-0, midway through the second quarter, just keep running that football, and have control of the time. I guess I mean by overtime and by the end of the game, it could be still close if you have control of the time of possession. So, I expect the Browns to utilize those guys heavy, and I'm sure Jaron will get to that right now.
Handing it off to you, True.
Well, you know me. I see a cutback lane. So let me go and cut back right quick and get this 20. Two things that we need to talk about with the Browns running game, then I'm gonna go to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
For 24 is really, 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 really simple. If you're Kansas City, you got to maintain gap integrity.
Yes.
Because he makes you defend every blade of grass.
Yes.
For 27, when he's on the field, you got to wrap him up and you got to gang tackle. Otherwise, you're going to get a guy who's going to get a 2-yard loss and turn that into a 5-yard gain. Those are runs that this Cleveland team thrives on when they use this 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
One makes you defend the whole field. The other one makes test your heart. Because otherwise, it just is what it is. Now, for Kansas City, Andy Reid, I have to give you some real serious credit, Big Kool-Aid. You've been running that football when you need to run that football. And who better than Mr. 26 himself?
Mm-hmm.
As long as Mr. 26 is Mr. 26, he the best damn back in the league. I don't give a damn who it is. There's nobody more versatile, more conditioned, better than Le'Veon Bell to run your rock and to be on your offensive side of the football. Period. And guess what you get today? You get the Cleveland Browns, who you are familiar with, who you have infamous drives in which you have touched the ball 10 out of 15 times on the same drive against and scored the touchdown. Oh, yeah, you know these folks. I expect Le'Veon to do Le'Veon today. I don't even think Mahomes going to have a big game today, y'all. I think it's going to be about 26 offensive line, a little bit of Kelsey on the seam, a little bit of Tyreek down the seam. No. I think it's going, hey, look, that bag is different. It's different.
See, you remember that game last year when Jacoby started versus the Chiefs for the Colts?
Mm-hmm.
That's the blueprint for the Browns. The matchup is so eerily similar. The quarterbacks, the running game, the offensive line, there's bits and pieces different here.
I'm so excited.
But for the Browns, this is why I said the running game is the most important factor of this game. The Colts last season when they played, they controlled the clock for about 60% of the game. The best defense versus Patrick Mahomes is the bench. The best way for your defense to have a chance at limiting this great quarterback with this phenomenal offense is to limit the amount of times they touch the ball. Now, the scary part is you could still hold the ball for 40 minutes. You give him 20 minutes, that's enough for 5 touchdowns. I'm not even joking. So that's what makes the Chiefs so scary, is that they don't have to be a 60-minute team. This is what we talk about with Patrick Mahomes and breaking rules and why he's annoying. I love him, but he's annoying because there are so many rules and fundamental principles that are being broken. Maybe not broken, just bended a little bit. And it is because of his ability to just say, you know what, I'm going to score. Next time I get this ball, I'm scoring once, I'm scoring twice, I'm scoring thrice because he's so nice. And so to me, it's all
just life. He just nice. Tonight he might raise his price. Great advice. Damn you, Patty. Jesus Christ. He can do anything.
Damn right. Damn right. So to me, well done, sir. So to me, you need upwards of 40 carries between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt tonight. That is to me the Browns' recipe for success in this game. So let's go ahead. Anything you want to add, Jerm?
Well, see, remember, this is my game to cover film.
Right. So you got.
So I got plenty of stuff for it. So I got a couple things stats I'm gonna throw out before we do the predictions, of course, and stuff like that. But wrap it up so we can get to that part. I just need there are certain things that we got to do. Number one thing is we talked about running the ball. This Browns secondary is in such shambles sometimes that I am so. This is why I'm nervous, Mo. This is what makes this game eerily similar but very, very different. As at least the Colts had some damn organization on the back end. This Browns defense is all over the place. Sendejo is always getting beat. I don't know what he's doing. Carl Joseph is always in recovery mode, trying to fill a hole, find something. Denzel Ward doesn't travel. I don't know what he be doing, but besides getting burnt, I don't know what's going on. There's been no Greedy Williams all year. Your boy Grant Delpit can't come back fast enough. That's all I'm gonna say.
Amen.
With that being said, it's the Browns have to score 7. They can't kick field goals. That's number 1.
Right.
Keeping the Chiefs on the sideline, that's a good point. That's number 2. Running the football, that's number 3. It's really that simple in that order. Chiefs, the only thing you got to do is just stay the course. It doesn't matter if the Browns get up on you 21-0. You have an offense where you can score like that. You don't have to worry. The Chiefs can realistically in this go down 2 scores to Cleveland at any point. But we seen this last year. We seen a team score on 8 consecutive possessions in 4 minutes or less. They did it against the Texans, and they did it against the team before they played the Texans. Who was it? Because they were down to at least 10 points in every game last year in the playoffs.
Was it the Ravens?
You talking about the Chiefs?
Yes. Yeah. Who was it that they played before they played the Texans again?
They played the Texans? Oh, yeah, they played the Texans and the Titans.
Yeah, they put up
49ers.
They put up 40 points on people like it was their business. The Browns, you got to score 40 today if you want to win. Besides that, point differential. The Browns are one of the few teams in the NFL this year that made the playoffs that actually had a negative point differential. They are a -11. The reason why they're -11 is because when they get beat normally, they get their ass kicked. And that's just how it goes. They get that ass kicked. Now, they are -11, which is the lowest they have been since they were +20 in 2007, which is the last time they won 10 games. The Browns are 6-0 in games that they rush for 150 yards or more. Let me make sure we're clear. That is 6-0. They have not lost this season when they rush for 150 plus.
Wow.
Stefanski, that means we need to rush for 150 plus today so we can be 7-0.
175 plus today. It's a different
Neither
offense.
team is 60 minutes. Both of these teams are ironically the best teams or 2 of the best teams in the first quarter, and the Browns are best in the second quarter in the NFL. And the third quarter, both of these teams' point differential changes because both of them struggle in that quarter. And then, of course, they do enough in the fourth quarter to win. This is a styles clash on offense, styles clashes on defense. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to make my prediction today on January
17th. Happy birthday,
2021. Germ So True selects the Kansas City Chiefs. Y'all thought I'm saying, listen, give me Patty mayonnaise over the rest of these folks just because he's that good.
Yeah.
15, get to the championship game, make it 3 in a row, and let's get it done. Chiefs 45, Browns 31.
Damn. Vic, I had a specific question, and then you could just dive into whatever else you think about this game and give me your prediction. But the specific question I had for you is, neither of these teams really pressure the quarterback very well. It's kind of Miles Garrett or bust for the Browns.
Mhm.
The Chiefs, Frank Clark, who they're paying more than enough money to, right? True. To play and create pressure is not doing his job to the level that he's supposed to be doing his job.
I want to argue.
So my question to you is, which of these quarterbacks will be more comfortable today? And then you dive into whatever styles you see and give me your predictions.
I think the obvious pick for that will be Pat Mahomes, simply because he's just a better passer at this stage of his career. For me, Baker, I
Just
think
say period. Just say period.
nah. For me, I'm not gonna say period because I need a little bit of Baker in there. Baker gets a rhythm off of his running game at this stage in his career.
Mm-hmm.
I think he progresses slower. I mean, he's done it through college and right now. So if the running game is not as in the same rhythm as effective, I think he can struggle in this game. Of course, Pat Mahomes can just drop back 40 times and they'll still win this game. Um, so I mean, Jerm said 150, and the Browns are 6-0. I think they're gonna need 175 for this game. Like you said, 40 carries minimum. I said 35 carries minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Between those two carries, they're gonna need 175 or more to win this game, and they have to get it done. Period. Real quick, Jack Conklin and Njoku are active for this game, so they'll have at least everybody but the center available for that offensive line, and they're gonna have to let them dominate. They're gonna have to let them dominate.
So
But
we get to
ultimately,
see Nick Harris today play center, Vic.
yes. Yes, and that should be fun.
Yeah.
That should be fun. It could be fun. It could be fun if they
Absolutely.
get in space, but then he has to go up against that defensive tackle by the name of what the hell's his name? What
Chris
is he?
Jones.
Chris Jones. Yes, he's healthy, right? So that's that's gonna be an
We're
interesting
gonna have
matchup.
some fun today because that Nick Harris kid was exciting to watch when he plays some guard. So I want
Yes.
to see how he looks playing center because that's probably who's going to play center for him today. I just want to throw that out there, Vic, because we talked about the kid because we scouted him.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, so I mean, he's gonna go up against Chris Jones. Whenever he plays that one technique or that zero, it's gonna be an interesting matchup. But anyway, 175 plus for the Browns. But ultimately, I gotta go. I gotta go with the Chiefs. As much as I want to pick the Browns, I gotta go with the Chiefs to win this game. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot that
Cause
they have from
the
that offense.
heart is the house for love. Go ahead,
uh,
Mo. Pick the Browns, Mo.
I'll
Go
be
ahead,
cheering for the
Mo.
Browns though. I'll be cheering for the Browns though.
Listen.
They have six. They have six.
That don't even sound right.
I know, right?
That just don't even sound right. I think just looking at it, not to the thing about it for Cleveland, where they can win this game, we talked about the ground game. Believe it or not, they are actually better than the Chiefs in terms of red zone offense this year, which is a bit of a surprise. So Jerm talked about getting six. They have six instead of getting three. That's obviously going to be crucial in this
I
game.
hate this guy.
But I just think it's going to be one of those games, man, where Patty's going to be back there dropping back and throwing dimes and finding holes to exploit and finding big plays. I'm going with Kansas City to win this game. Give me Kansas City 44-27. Kansas City. That's just how I feel about it. Now, let's move on to the next game real quick. We got the boy. Boy. You got, we, the people, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 11-5, are traveling to the 12-4 New Orleans Saints. Over under in this game is 52.5. That feels a little low if you ask me. Saints 2.5 point favorites because they are the home team. That's to be expected. Listen, I know what's been on Twitter all morning. Taysom Hill is not playing in this game. If the Saints lose this game because Taysom Hill is not playing in this game, the Saints do not deserve to be in this game, nor do they deserve to be in the game next week. And sure as hell don't deserve to be in the week or two after that. For the Bucks, Alex Kappa is out for this game. He's actually out for the remainder of the season. Devin White is back. Deion Buchanan is also active in this one. Somebody that they picked up, I think, after week 17, who's just another athlete to have on your football team. The Buccaneers should be ready to roll in this one. Fellas, let's just go around the horn. Quick thoughts before I screen share and show these. I got 6 plays that I want to show for Chris Godwin that are absolutely crucial to this matchup and to why the Buccaneers offense has been on a roll lately. But just quick thoughts around the horn before we get to that.
I'll go first. Bucks. We've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The Saints and the Bucks in a primetime fight. All I'm going to say is this, man. I don't trust 9 because 9 is less than 12. Go ahead, Vic. I ain't got nothing else. I have nothing else.
Just real quick, I think 45 for the Buccaneers defense is going to be crucial. He should be healthy and ready to go. That's going to be a crucial matchup between him and Kamara. That speed on speed. I think that's a significant difference for that defense. So again, it's going to be about that. And then for the Bucks offensively, can they protect Brady? If they can do that, the receivers have gotten better. He has gotten better as the season has gone along. So I expect him to be ready for this matchup. That's about it, man. We're gonna get to this film real quick, and then we'll make our predictions from here. You're muted, Bobby.
Okay. Didn't realize I was muted, and then I'm sharing the screen, so I have to find the microphone button. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So some things happened along the way that really just changed life for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and this offense. Vic, and this is one of the things that you talked about this first play. And then, Jerm, this is something that the 3 of us kind of talked about it when Brady first went to Tampa, talking about building trust with his receivers, trusting certain receivers to make the tough catches. And we talked all off season, and we talked in that the season outlook show about just the significance of Chris Godwin and him playing in that Julian Edelman role. He's going to be to the bottom of your screen there, and he's going to run like a little shallow post. And you can see this. What happens on this play is you can start to see some of the timing beginning to develop between him and Brady. But more importantly, you see there's trust because he makes a tough catch like this with the safety creeping in on him, and he's able to bring it down and move the chains. Now, ironically, this is from the Week 9 blowout versus the Saints. I think the final score was 38-3. But
know that score.
There's diamond in every dirt, or whatever the saying is. And that game, as bad as it was, as awful as it was, this is one of the things that you could see was starting to develop, is that trust and communication and timing with Chris Godwin. Fast forward here a little bit to Week 11 versus the Rams. Why didn't I write the quarter down? Here we go. There it is. There's another thing that started to happen. We talk about that trust. The one thing that made Brady and Edelman so just unstoppable, even though Edelman wasn't anything of anything special in terms of great athleticism or great speed, it was just good IQ, good communication, and good quickness that Edelman had that made them so successful. What you see here with Godwin is there he is right there releasing towards the middle of the field. What you're going to see here is he's going to read the safety, he's going to read the coverage, and he's going to understand that Brady is looking for him to just sit this route down right in the middle of the field. Now, listen, this is not going to help your fantasy team. They're not going to cut away to red zone to show this play. It's not going to show up on Come On Man on Monday night. But these are the football plays, the championship plays that truly matter. These are the plays that truly make a difference between winning and losing a football game. And he's not doing too many things before he sits down. You see, he's already making Brady see him before even fully selling what his route is, and then boom, with one step, he's just able to sit it down, get in position, secure the ball, secure himself, and move the chains. Again, it's not going to be on red zone, but these are the minor things that make the difference between a first down and a punt, between a touchdown and now no points at all, between your defense who just came off the field for 14 plays having to get right back on there. These are the little things that makes they're subtle things that make great differences.
Mm-hmm.
Two things that happened here in the Detroit game that I'm gonna fast forward to and jump to. Fellas, before while I find these, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the rhythm between Brady and the receivers progressively got better as the season got along. Definitely, there was a difference after their bye week, which was a late bye week. I think it was week 13, and
Yep.
the Saints games were before that. So, you would expect them to be ready and the same rhythm, especially with Godwin being healthy. That's another key that was significant, was that he wasn't playing healthy. And he looks a
Right.
lot more healthier now and explosive running. He's not grimacing in pain or anything like that.
1,000%. And so one of the things that continued to happen and continued to develop, and you continue to see it more and more and more, was that Godwin was really starting to adapt to that Edelman role, and they started doing motions. Again, we talked about Brady, death by 1,000 cuts. He could give you death by 1,000 cuts with some left hooks now, with some deep shots and whatnot. But for the most part, he's gonna want to be methodical. He's not just gonna want to run verticals and deep posts and all these crazy concepts and switch concepts all game long.
Right.
You need to give him options. You need to give him flats, slants, all these different things that just help him collect data on a defense. That's what makes him so great. His mind makes him unbelievably great. Why are you trying to take that away by making him process so much faster after the snap? So here you see a motion again by Godwin, helps Brady identify the matchup. And then very key here, where Chris Godwin is looking, he's looking right at the linebacker. He's not worried about the corner because they understood that they're playing some sort of zone because of the motion. And again, you could see how far that linebacker is. And again, this is not a big time fantasy play, but these are the little things that they weren't doing that they started doing to help move the chains, to help get drives going, to help get the quarterback in rhythm and the offense in a flow. And here you see again, he's showing himself, and there's not too many steps, is not too many things that he's doing before he sits down and is able to secure the catch, move the ball, move the chains. And the one thing about Godwin, he's going to make you tackle him. He's going to make you bring him down. And that's another big thing, because what was Julian Edelman? One of the toughest players in the National Football League. And I don't think there's any denying that from anybody.
Yeah. And then also the deep shot started to get more comfortable. The timing for their deep shots was a lot better too, because of the fact that they added these horizontal routes, these stick routes in the middle of the field and stuff like that. The defense had to account for it. So again, the progression, over time for this offense was pretty good, and they're gonna have to show that today.
Absolutely. Here's another quick one from the slot. Were you talking about those stick routes in the middle of the field? Again, another option route. You have Gronk running up the seam that's going to keep that slot corner and that linebacker just enough honest, just enough to allow Godwin to read the leverage, read the coverage, cut inside. Again, quick, easy throw, boom, moving the chains. Subtle things that make major differences over the course of a football game. Show two more plays. This one was against Atlanta in week 15. Got to go backwards a little bit here. Quarter 4, 13, 16. There it is. Same thing here in the understanding the leverage and the motions and signifying what's going on. If you saw that the lab show we did on Thursday, we highlighted how those motions and these different route concepts have helped AB be more involved. But again, this is all about Godwin. This one is really just a different level. The fact that they're able to execute this with only 12 games with each other says a lot about just how great these two players really are. See, he's running towards him again. See that right there? He's reading the linebacker. He knows he's cleared the slot corner. He's not even worried about this linebacker on the other end. He reads the middle linebacker in Deion Jones, understands how deep he is, and also understands the leverage that he's still in the position of trying to retreat. And he just sits it down. And more than just sits it down, he actually works back towards the football a little bit, gets in position, secures the catch, moves the chains. Subtle things that make major differences.
And they have to expose that against the Saints because if anything, the Saints cover better in the outside than they do in the middle. So they like to do a lot of man coverages. So we should be able to see a lot more of these plays.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna just show this play just for the sake of entertainment. I'm not even gonna show the last play I was gonna show because it's more of the same. But it's really just to show how he's really embraced that Julian Edelman type role, Wes Welker type role. But the biggest difference, they can't do this, Chief. There he is running down the middle of the field, a little post route. Look at the timing of the throw is already released. That is not only understanding, that is major trust in knowing that your guy can make this unbelievable catch. Truly remarkable. What Chris Godwin has brought to this Buccaneers offense. I'm gonna leave it at that because we're a little short on time, but I did want to show those quick 6 plays. Again, the timing, the communication, the leverage, the options, all those things happening, coming into fruition has changed so many things for this Buccaneers offense. And the one important thing to me in this game is the screen game for both Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown. Those Chris Godwin plays I just showed, why are they crucial? Because it's going to help negate the constant pressure that Brady has been under versus this Saints defense in both of these matchups. Mm-hmm. What's also going to help is these screen games. And we showed that play with Antonio Brown beating the corner with just straight speed. That is crucial because that means his football speed is back. We talked about Chris Godwin, not only his speed, not only his quickness, but also his toughness. That is crucial because he's a walking 6 yards on a good executed screenplay. And if he gets a little bit of a space, he's going to make him more. And if you try to tackle him, he's going to make you tackle him. And I think those are two of the first crucial things in the passing game for the Buccaneers. Fellas, anything you want to add, or what do you see as the most crucial part of the Buccaneers offense versus the Saints defense in this matchup?
Jeremy, you want to go first?
Yeah, just real simple. Running game. When the Bucs run the ball at least 20 times in a game, they have not lost this season. They are 11-0, and that includes postseason. So again, running the football means you don't have to run the ball and get a lot of yards. You just have to keep a defense always understanding that you will put the ball in the hands of the running backs consistently. 20 rushes, 40 passes is perfectly fine to get this job done. If you get to the point where you see that you're getting big gash plays, scale back some of the passing and do more running. It's okay. This is the time of year that shouts out to Muhammad Ali. You make them pick their poison.
Yeah.
You make them pick their poison. If you're going to give me 15 yards here, I still got the best quarterback to ever do it who can make every throw in the red zone. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about him being in a rhythm. He doesn't need that much of a rhythm. But everybody around me needs a rhythm. We have 12.
Vic, talk to me. What's the most important thing you see from the Buccaneers offense for this? What looking to see from the Buccaneers offense in this matchup?
Right. So what you just showed is again very important for them to attack the middle of the field, right? Because Trey Hendrickson, right, the right defensive end for the Saints, is active for this game, and he gave Donovan Smith some issues in the last two games. I think it was 4 sacks in total. So Donovan Smith gave up 6 sacks this season total. 4 of them, I think, came from Trey Hendrickson, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe one of them came from Cam Jordan. So they're going to have to either help out more there with some chips, things like that, or, again, just continue to attack the middle of the field with the horizontal routes. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be ready for that. I'm pretty sure they're going to be ready to expose the middle of the field against the Saints. So that's going to be key. Like Germ said, they could rush 20, 25 times a game and still win this football game. So I expect I expect that ratio as well, 40-20 type of game for the Bucs offense.
Yeah. I mean, look, you talked about oh Lord, lost my train of thought again. That's what happens when I got too much going on in my mind.
Hmm.
So we talked about what the Buccaneers offense is crucial for them to do. Okay. Let's talk about the Saints real quick. Because while yes, it is Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, they also got Emmanuel Sanders in the mix. Still got Jared Cook. They got speed other places, and
Mm-hmm.
they certainly have a pretty good offensive line. What are some ways that the Saints offense can attack this Buccaneers defense? Germ?
Really simple. You got one of the better route runners in football with Emmanuel Sanders, and then you got Slant Boy, and then you got Mr. Kamara out of the backfield. Kamara out of the backfield is always a recipe for a disaster because he's one of the best yards after catch players in football. And I didn't say receivers or running backs, I said players. Um, you're going to be able to get some yards on this defense. The difference is when Bruce Arians decides to blitz Drew Brees, which Drew Brees is going to show up. The key to this game is if Drew comes out and plays anything remotely like he's played in this matchup, we should be in for one of the best games of the year. If either quarterback doesn't show up today, it's going to be a blowout for the most part because neither team has a defense that I think is going to carry you through, especially the Saints right now. I know people really like the Saints defense, but I see a lot of things that can be done on that secondary. Even with Marshawn traveling, he looks like, hey, listen, Saints, just let me talk to y'all for 1 second. Just this is a sentimental moment. Y'all are almost $100 million over the cap. If y'all don't get it done this year,
It's over.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Vic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Vic. Talk to me about the Saints offense and some ways that they can attack.
Yeah, I mean,
Buccaneers defense.
again, it's going to be important for 45 for the Bucks to be ready. They're going to do a lot of things when they drop back the pass, where they'll send Kamara and some flats. They'll send them in some stick routes, and that's going to attract a lot of coverage from the linebackers. That's where Michael Thomas can then expose the middle field as well. And one thing that we've seen over time, the offense has getting better for the Bucks, but the defense has kind of regressed, specifically the cornerbacks. I feel like Carlton Davis is not the same cornerback he was in the beginning of the season, especially after the Tyreek Hill game, against the Chiefs that he, basically destroyed him, destroyed his confidence. So, I think Michael Thomas is a good matchup for him because he is a physical corner. So it'll be a physical receiver versus a physical cornerback. But Michael Thomas, if anything he does outstanding is catch the ball in traffic, catch the ball when people are hitting him and stuff like that. And that's going to be key. They're going to try to get a lot of one-on-one matchups where he's going to get the linebackers, where they're going to get the linebackers away from him and pick some spots in the middle of the field. So that's something that I'll be looking forward to for the Saints to attack this defense.
Okay. I mean, I think for the Saints offensively, it's gonna truly come down to how Devin White and Alvin Kamara, how many times they clash and how well they do. And I think for the Saints as well on offense, you got to test that Levante David Jared Cook matchup early, and you got to attack with Michael Thomas early, which I'm sure they will. To just be completely honest, I don't like anything in any way that the Buccaneers match up against the Saints. It just feels like a very bad matchup for the Buccaneers, to be honest with you. But let's get to it. Let's get to some rapid fire real quick, and then we'll wrap up. Germ, Alvin Kamara versus Devin White. Who do you like more in this matchup?
It's hard not to like that dude with the gold grill, man.
Mm. Sure. Vic, Buccaneers edge versus Saints tackles, or Saints edge versus Buccaneers tackles. Which matchup is more favoring of one side or another? You know what I'm asking?
That's it. No, that that it's a great question. I think so. Basically, the Saints edge rushers versus the tackles for the Bucks,
right?
And then vice versa. Who you think should have a better game, or who's the best?
Yeah. Who has a better matchup? Who has advantage in that matchup?
So if history shows the way Trey Hendrickson gave Donovan Smith some issues, that's going to be the key for the defense for the Saints to stop this Buccaneers offense. Period.
Yeah.
That's again, when Brady's under pressure in terms of people at his feet, people at his hips, and things like that, that's where you're going to see them struggle, right? Because he's a pocket passer.
Right.
Any other way, it's whether it's the blitz. So if Donovan Smith is able to block, right, his side, and if Tristan Wirth should be able to block Cam Jordan, it's going to be about now how they blitz Brady. He's going to kill them with the blitz.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there's a difference between blitz. There's a difference between pressure. So it's going to be important for the Saints pass rushers to get to Brady.
Sure.
Simply put.
Right.
So I think they have the better pass rushers when you talk about Cam and Trey versus just Shaq Barrett and a little bit of eight fingers JPP. So
9.
So I think, I think I'll give the edge. Ain't impossible. Right? I think I'll give the edge to the Saints. But I think that the Saints need their pass rush more to win this football game.
Understood. Very much understood. Germ, offensive players not named Chris Godwin. Who is the most important one for the Buccaneers offense today?
Man, look. Antonio Brown, baby. It's just we just gonna go downtown to Antonio Brown. Listen, if AB gets going, that is the one player that it doesn't matter what coverage you play, it doesn't matter what you do. If him and Brady get clicking, it's a long day.
Yeah.
AB can run a route at every level. He is one of the best receivers we have seen in history at making contested catches at an under 6 foot receiver. And I mean, we've seen it even in some of the Saints matchup. We've seen this in a couple of games before that. Brady was able to make a throw low to Antonio Brown that only Antonio Brown was going to make. There are a lot of good things about this connection. If they get it going, I said all it takes is 4 good games in the month of January and February, in the first week of February, in order for you to be where you need to be. We got 1 game down. Here's game 2. 40 points will win this game. 35 points should win this game. I'm going to go a step further. 28 points should win this game.
Uh-oh. Vic, you want to take a shot at this? Who's the most important player not named Chris Godwin, or you want another question?
Yeah, I mean, AB was good. I'll take another question, but I'll say Gronk will be a big piece too.
Okay.
But go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I'll say to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gronk is the most important blocker in this game. That's what I'll say to you. To me, the most important offensive player not named Chris Godwin is actually Leonard Fournette, because I need to see him get in the load. I need to see him on the field. I need to see him get in the volume. More importantly, when he's making those check down catches, that is what helps this offense create everything. If he's making those easy catches and gaining some positive yards, then I have no reason to doubt that Antonio Brown and Mike Evans are going to eat consistently rather for this game. Vic, question to you. Who is the most important secondary player for the Saints today?
Ooh. That's a good one, because I think the slot corner of it. the slot corner that's going to cover Chris Godwin. I forget his name. I think it's going to be because Marshawn Lattimore has done good against Evans.
Right.
I think Marshawn Lattimore has been excellent against Evans. So he
So
might
you
be
got
able to shut
Marcus.
that
So
down.
you got Marshawn Lattimore, Janoris Jenkins. They use Chauncey Johnson.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson,
And then they
T.J.
use
Williams, or Patrick Robinson. But Patrick Robinson is out.
He's
Right.
out. Yeah. So Chauncey might be the one to see the Chris Godwin matchup more. I think. So I think that I mean that's going to be crucial. I don't see him winning anything there, but if it's Lattimore is going to do his thing. You know what I mean? So
you ready for the player?
You want me to give you the same question? You want the same question? Go ahead, take it, because I was going to give you another one, but go ahead.
Malcolm Jenkins.
Good answer.
Because if Malcolm Jenkins gets beat, which we have seen, he struggles against some of these players. This is that game you miss O.J. Howard.
Most definitely.
Because we seen Darren Waller give Malcolm Jenkins the BB King blues.
Yeah.
So go on. What's the next question?
Same one. Most important secondary player for the Buccaneers.
Oh, well, I think it's really simple. It's Sean Murphy-Bunting.
Wow, good answer.
If you line him, he is your guy that's going to be the guy that's going to guard the guy primarily in the slot.
Yeah.
When they line Michael Thomas up in the slot, you have to be able to stay in his hip pocket, force Drew Brees to make accurate throws, and that is the pressure that's going to be the thing that gets this defense where it needs to be. Pressure, Sean Murphy-Bunting in the slot. I want to see Carlton Davis hit somebody today. Get that swagger back.
Mm-hmm.
But Sean Murphy-Bunting, slot the nickel, we need you to go ahead and we need you to show up at this time of year.
Yeah. Vic, you want to take a crack at this?
For the Saints second?
no, Buccaneers
secondary?
Yeah.
So Germ took Bunting. I'll take Antoine Winfield. I think that if Devin White is not getting matchups, Devin White will get some matchups against Kamara, but I think with the way they line up Winfield in the box, he'll also see some of Kamara. So again, open field tackles is going to be key for that secondary, and I think he's done a good job all season doing that as a rookie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Winfield Jr. is. I'm going to say that's the most important player as well. Look, we can spend all day breaking down the matchups in this specific game. There's a lot of superstars. There's a lot of great players. Before we get to the predictions, let's get to the comments real quick. Shout out to Big Shot, April, Les, Dion, Trav, Danny, Siobhan. I don't even know what I wrote there. Oh, Calvin. Shout out to Calvin Justice, the artist. Shout out to Josh Storms, also in there. Danny said she wants to see AB versus Bell in February so she can laugh at the Steelers. And then Big Shot says for the Browns, 25 carries for Nick Chubb, 15 carries for Kareem Hunt. Again, we appreciate y'all. Trav, I know you're nervous for today's game. So let's just jump into the final thoughts and predictions, fellas. Let's start with you, Vic.
Give me the Bucks. It could be the fandom, could be the biasness, y'all want to call it. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think that they've done enough to reach. I think they've done enough to reach their potential this season, and I think that they can win this game. I'm gonna go. I hate score predictions. I think they win this game by 6.
Okay, Term.
Man, give me. I can't bet against Brady in January, bro. I can't do it. I just can't. I can't even say it out my mouth. I was gonna pick the Saints today, but you know why I can't pick the Saints? Because I don't trust number 9, and I just don't think you beat 12 3 times in a season. I just don't think that's possible. That's impossible. He is inevitable. He's inevitable. Man, dude, 12 is Thanos. He's inevitable. He needs another Infinity Gauntlet to start for the next set of stones. Give me 12.
Bro, we should have let Mo go first.
Give me the Bucks.
We should have let him go first.
Yeah, we should have.
Because he's going on some shit right now. I can see it in his face already.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Give me the Bucks. I want to see 40 points today. I want to see you kick these folks' ass in the trenches. I want to see Donovan Smith block somebody today. I want to see the defense hold them to under 30 points. Give me 42-28 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We, the people.
What up, Vic? How you doing today?
I'm waiting for you to say whatever you got to say because this should be interesting.
I'm gonna just say this, right? I'm gonna say it like this. What we not gonna do is miss the matchup of the lab. Okay. The reality is, put your headphones back on. Put your headphones back on. The reality is, this is a bad matchup for the Saints.
Okay.
I think they will have to play very well. The Buccaneers. I mean, bad matchup for the Buccaneers. Sorry. I think the Buccaneers will have to play very well. I think all those things need to be executed. The quick passing, the communication, staying ahead of the chains, getting off to a good start. All that is absolutely crucial in this game. I think defensively for the Buccaneers, some pressures, some mix-up in coverages. Don't just play man all day. Mix up the coverage. Do some different things. Keep them off balance. That'll bode well for them. Saints 29-28. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Any closing thoughts, fellas?
Just end the show, man.
Let's go. We're going to play some football. That's all.
Just end the show, man.
What's wrong? 29-28. What I say last week, 19-18? Yeah, 29-28. Let's do that one. Nothing you want to add, Jerm?
No, I'm okay.
That's so rude. Vic, nothing you want to add?
Nothing.
Anybody in the comments want to add something? April says 42-27. Storm says, I'm just happy we finally got Tom versus Drew in the playoffs. Bucks got to play damn near perfect. Danny says she is absolutely right. They do. And it is just hard. 53-52, the Saints are just better than the Buccaneers. And yes, I said 53-52 because the only position that they are significantly better, not significantly, but just clearly better in, is a quarterback position. So thank y'all for tuning in. You got the first game kicking off. Y'all better fix your postures, your faces, your energy, everything, because y'all just making, turn off your microphones and your cameras. I end this show my damn self. Fix your posture, Germ. Kickoff is in about 25 minutes or so. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. We will be back later this week with another lab show. Enjoy the games. Enjoy whatever food you eating. Make sure you join the group, Views from the 22 on Facebook. We got the thread there. Make sure you following us on Twitter, scene_the. On Instagram, the.scene, scene spelled SCEN, no E, because we set trends and change narratives. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Germ, Vic, everybody. Enjoy the games, y'all. Take us home, True.
2-2.
I said take us home, True. I want Fast
2-2.
and Furious, not driving Miss Daisy.
We driving Miss Daisy because you sure acting like Miss Daisy today.
Yeah,
2-2.
Poopy.